What you're looking at is a man refusing to kneel down to propose. But do you know what I see? I'll tell you after watching this video. What do girls really want? Is it that him kneeling down to propose to you is more important, or you actually want to marry him? Because from the look of things, your excitement throughout the entire video signaled to me that you actually want to settle down with this guy. So what is stopping you? Just because he refused kneeling down? Come on, girl, you're not serious. It's okay to disagree with me, but your expression shows that he's a good man, he's good to you, and he knows how to make you happy, which he clearly displayed here. The question if he will make a good father or a good husband is up for you to answer. I can tell you that people have been in successful marriages that lasted for a very long time, but it's not the kneeling down thing that matters. Who cares if he kneels down to propose or not? As long as he's good to the people around him and you see yourself having a future with him, you self, you're supposed to kneel down to collect that ring. Now, since kneeling down defines the moment for you, I am sure that if you had knelt down to collect that ring, you would have complimented the picture and you would have gone viral for the right reasons. But no, you wanted to make the sisterhood proud. You wanted to show them that if they don't kneel down to propose to you, you self, you will not agree. Who you help? How much did you contribute in that proposal banquet? And how much is your money that will enter in that wedding planning? If you ask me, I will say little or nothing. Yes, but you want a king to kneel down and propose to you. Who you help self? I beg, shift. I hope that that man finds a woman that will not stress him, that deserves that ring. See, respect yourself.
Listen, just calm down. Hold on, let me talk. I'm talking. Let me talk. Okay, guys, my mom came all the way to address. She said she's been seeing the videos online. Although I called her and I complained to her, and I told her to equally watch the video and then see what I'm saying. But now she came and she's saying some things that I'm not cool with. And I want you guys to like listen to what my mom
is saying. Some
Mommy,
things,
you're saying that what you're saying. I'm not cool
so I'm not
with
saying some things.
Okay.
I'm not saying some things. I am saying that since you know that you will not kneel down, why would you go out and be doing all of this thing? What I'm saying is what is real and obtainable, my son. Is what is real and obtainable. If you knew you wouldn't have knelt down to do the proposal and give her the ring, you should have done it in your room. Nobody will know what happened as she's waking up, you're slipping the ring inside his finger. And just like me and your father did. He go marry you, no go marry. By force.
One thing about you is that you always want to. I don't know if you're watching it with the fact that it's your song. You just have to believe whatever it is. No. See, you always want me to please these girls.
So
are you trying to justify that she should disrespect? Mommy, I'm not. For any reason, I'm not going to disrespect you as my mom.
You're too proud. Be coming down. What I'm saying is that, do you know that time she said, kneel down, that you people have not started raising your voice. You would have done something. Everything. The last one. Kneeling down.
It's not a big deal. I'll go and take my car. She's with my car. I will take it from.
A lot of men, not all men, like I always say, especially African men, especially our traditional African men, many of them really are not in the mindset. It's a pattern mindset of honoring their women. whether it's girlfriend, fiance, especially wives. Especially the wives, maybe they've been together for a while, have kids. They don't honor them. Like, I came across this video and I was literally like, what? Because I remember having maybe mutuals or even from, being married for over a decade, where narrative things like, oh, I don't eat rice that's a day old, like from the day before, that's in the refrigerator. I need it to be fresh. And a lot of African men embrace this type of mentality. I will need to be served. You cook, they will ignore it. They want you to plate it, which is cool. So long as it's a dynamic that's already been established and agreed upon to be that way, and you as a woman, your needs are being met. Not that you're being a single but married woman, you're doing all that serving, cooking from fresh, making sure the rice is cooked and has smoke in it. You get it. If you're Nigerian or Ghanaian, that rice that you cook that burns at the bottom and the smoke rises and it fills the rice just right. If you're cooking jollof, the same thing. Like, everything's just from scratch and it has to be fresh. Like, the jollof has to be fresh, the soup has to be fresh, the chicken soup has to be fresh, the fufu has to be fresh. You're pounding yum, you're sweating, taking care of the kids, and never mind in those mindset of tradition, and they want those entitlement and entitled to the hot pot as well, but also require you to go work your 9 to 5 or whatever job you have full time. Sometimes you're lucky, maybe part time, and contribute to the bills. And yeah, you're not getting date night, no special treatments, no getting your intimate time, the prelude to the intimate time. Nothing like that is happening. They just come in, middle of the night, hit it 2 minutes, 2 seconds, and then gone. What is the joys of being in said relationship when most of the perks goes to the man? And this is why it's so important to realize that during your time in this kind of traditional setup, conservative setup mindset, whatever, it's the men that benefit. And if you're a woman, you're not putting yourself first, you're not really prioritizing your health, your wellness, the boundary to say, no, I can't, like, I'm tired, let's hire help, consistent help, things like that, you are going to end up diseased or being unalive or not being here for your kids in the long term. So some of the videos depicts like this man not wanting to kneel down. It's part of the tradition, the process. It doesn't lower your value as a man, but this is why a lot of men don't honor, they don't communicate, they lack the emotional intelligence to have some of this conversation prior. You want the video to be clipped there, like, yo, you're doing her a favor, so to speak. You're, asking her to, be your wife, but yeah, you don't want the thing that comes with that whole setup of going down one knee, not 2 knees, like, you're not bowing down to those women by any means. But I'm glad the sister was like, yeah, no, I'm not accepting it. Because when you accept that, this is what the problem starts. A lot of women on there are saying, oh, she could have just accepted it, she's embarrassing him. But how about him embarrassing her, not doing all the way? And this is how things start. And if those boundaries and expectations are not set from the get-go, she didn't say no and stand in her no to just please and be like, oh, I want to be a pick me, just pick me. Even if you're not kneeling, if it's not like honoring me the whole way, I'm still just going to accept it because at least I'm getting a ring. I'm getting a copper ring, So she dodged a bullet, unless maybe he comes back and he's going to do things better or whatever, or communicate about the fact that he's going to be a provider man, a traditional man, and he doesn't need to go on one knee to give her that ring, then that's a conversation you have in private and not do it like that. But a lot of these men, because they have that entitlement mindset, they approach it this way and they think, whatever, there's 5-1, so you get me, so it's like, whatever, just take it as it is, like, even though it's complete shit show. So I always say, so important as women, prioritizing yourself, prioritizing your boundary, prioritizing your voice, not allowing your voice in that relationship, especially from the get-go, to be drowned, to be silenced, to be pushed back, just for the sake of marriage. Being treated in one way and they are carrying themselves in a whole different way is another thing that's just like, over time, a lot of women carry the burden, the feelings, the labor, even the resentment. But it all goes down to the accountability of you as a woman, how much you're lacking in putting yourself first, how much you're lacking in setting those boundaries, how much you have to, divorce yourself from the fear of, if I set those boundaries, if I said no, I can't cook from a coal pot, if I can't cook from whatever wood pot, whatever, to make the jollof or fried rice or rice or whatever, he's gonna go be with another man. So be it. You value yourself, you value your life, your future, enough to say, that's it. I'm not going to tolerate this kind of behavior, because we are all humans. We all have feelings. Just because you're a woman and you say, oh, it comes natural for women. No, not all the time. No, majority of the time, you still have to work the cycle. You think women don't get tired? You do that, but it's just the society traditions that made it where it's like, oh, this is the roles. When a man is doing all these traditional roles and they are not fulfilling the 20, 50 years ago traditional man where the goal is like, this is it. providing for you, everything is covered, there's no bargaining, any of this stuff. It just gets done. That's the typical traditional man. Goes, pays a dowry, goes, sees your father. This man don't even want to see your parents no more. If they see, they feel like they're doing something too special. That's my rant. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. I would love to know. What are your thoughts on the entitlement of men and wanting the traditional approach and care and support from the women, but they don't want to uphold the traditional values from their end? Okay, love you, bye.
Most men are socialized to make women single mothers because most men are raised to have children, not to be fathers. We can thank patriarchy for that. And we know it's not all men, but the majority of men are socialized to make women single mothers. This is why I tell women they need to protect their womb. Because even if you get married, that does not make you exempt from being a single mother. Because that man, he just wants the title of being a dad, but he may not even be capable of being a father to your children. When it comes to your parenting journey, you realize that you are the one carrying the majority of the load, and that man would just be a spectator. He will use weaponized incompetence to say that he can't do certain tasks, or he will try to do it and do such a bad job that you would end up doing it anyway. And you would realize that you're not just raising children, you're also raising a man-child, because he has been socialized to make you a single mom. He does not have the emotional capacity, he doesn't have the tools, he doesn't even have the desire to be a father. He wants to have children, he just doesn't want to be a father. Most of these men, they want the noun, not the verb. They want to say, I have kids, I'm a father. But when it comes to parenting those children, they are completely incompetent. They don't even try. They lack the emotional maturity, the emotional intelligence, and the compassion and empathy that is required for the job of parenting. And when you try to bring this to their attention, they will even lash out at you and say stuff like, I'm paying the bills, I bring food home, I put food on the table, I put clothes on your back. Because in their mind, they think that's what being a father is. They think that's all they need to do. They have no connection with the children. They have no patience for the children. They don't even know what their favorite color is. If they have to call a doctor to make an appointment, they won't even have certain information regarding the kids' allergies. Some of their children are like strangers to them because, again, they just want the title, but they have no idea what it takes to be a father. Most men are socialized to make women single mothers. So the best thing every woman should do is protect their womb like their life depends on it. Because trust me, it does.